right. Thank you for y'all's participation in that. We're going to get you started with your program. If that's cool, Dr. Wilson's on my screen. All right.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for dropping your class years. That's great going back down memory lane. I saw a lot of 1985. I saw some 90s. So we have a great representation for parents, juniors, and seniors in this webinar. Thank you for joining us. My name is Dr. Clinton Wilson, and I serve as a supervisor of high school counseling for Guilford County Schools. Thank you for attending our College Kickoff 2.0. This is a new type of era, and so we want to make sure that we're providing resources to you all in a better fashion. We can't really do face-to-face anymore like we usually do, but we wanted to provide this college kickoff to you guys as a part 2 of our series that we had last semester. And we're inviting the juniors along because it's pertinent information that you will need to know. Before we introduce the rest of the partners that are on, we just had a couple of things that we expect from everyone tonight as we go through the webinar etiquette. Please mute yourselves as you already are. If you have any questions, please place it in the chat and save it until the Q&A. So periodically throughout the evening, if you post something in the chat, we will try to answer. We have a lot of professionals that can answer your questions for you that are on this webinar series to better support you guys. So we will try to get your answers as soon as possible, but please wait until the end to see if your question has been answered. And if you fail to abide by these expectations, or you do something crazy as far as you say something inappropriate in the chat, you will be removed from the webinar. We have to be respectful of everyone that's on the call, and everyone is trying to get pertinent information to better themselves as we matriculate to college, or that we learn more about FAFSA, et cetera, et cetera. And as you can see, I am repping UNCG today. I went there for undergrad and I have my hoodie on. So a lot of the representatives that will be speaking today within our partners are going to have some form of fashion, some kind of college or university that they're representing. And that's because we're trying to create that college going culture within our students and show our pride within our colleges that we attended. So now I'm going to pass it off to our community partners so that they can introduce themselves. We will start with Say Yes Guilford.
Alrighty, so hello everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Brandy Kennedy, and I serve as the Assistant Director of Student Outreach and Post-Secondary Access with Say Yes Guilford. We also have another colleague on the line. We're grateful to be here today and to not only provide scholarships to the community, but also opportunities like this for you to learn more about post-secondary access. And I'll turn it over to Warshay.
Everyone, I'm Warshay Downing, Senior Director of Data and Post-Secondary Success for Say Yes Guilford. We're so thrilled that you have joined this session today. And don't forget to register for Say Yes Guilford scholarships. Go to sayyesguilford.org, register today. We look forward to working with you, and thank you as always.
All right, my name is Tequila Hall. I'm the regional representative for College Foundation of North Carolina. And I just want to represent UNCW. That's the school I went to. So I'm showing my Seahawk pride tonight. So can't wait to work with you guys. And remember to visit us at cfnc.org.
I don't know what I just did, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see, or did I just do something? Okay. My name is Miss Spurgeon. I'm Desire Spurgeon. I am one of the people representing Carolina College Advising Corps tonight. Thanks again, as everyone was just saying before, thank y'all for joining us tonight to go ahead and kickstart your college experience going into the fall. I am an alumna of UNC Chapel Hill, as you see on my t-shirt, and the little plaque behind me, that is the school or the college I graduated from very recently. I just graduated in 2019. So drop in the chat. UNC Chapel Hill actually just released their decisions on yesterday for early action. If you apply to that, let us know. Let us know if you will also be repping that school. I want to see, you know, where my Tar Heels at. Show me some Tar Heel pride in the chat box. Okay, Tar Heels. All right. Are we going to have, I know we have some other Carolina advisors on here. I don't know if they want to introduce themselves before I get into the timeline.
Yes, my name is Alexis Baker. I'm also a UNC grad, class of 2020. I work with the Carolina College Advising Corps, and we help low-income, first generation, and underrepresented students get into colleges that may best fit them. And I am the advisor at T. Wingate Andrews High School in High Point.
Frank or Jesse?
Well, my bad. I didn't know. I am Mr. Frank Adams. I am also a Carolina College Advising Corps, graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill this past spring. So, I feel old now. I feel old. But yeah, I work at Ben L. Smith High School as the career and college advisor.
And I'm Jessie Lutz, and I'm the college advisor at High Point Central in High Point, North Carolina. And I also graduated from Chapel Hill a little bit earlier than everyone else, but I'm so happy to be here, and congrats to all the Tar Heels.
Thank y'all for those introductions. We can go ahead and move into the timeline now. All right, so we are at the end of January, but a few days left to go ahead and show you all what what you should have done or should be doing for the remainder of this month. We can move on into the overview. Okay, so starting this month, and it may be a bit on the early end, but some of those colleges are going to be releasing those financial aid award packages and releasing what you need to go ahead and start the verification process. This will come to you if you have already completed your FAFSA application. This application opened up back in October, so if you've done it, if you've got accepted to your colleges from your early action decisions, you should be checking those emails and those college portals daily to see what type of updates they have for you there. So that was part 2 right there. Part 3, you should be continuing to visit those colleges and talking to college representatives. You can do this virtually if you're not, every campus is not open for in-person visits, but some are. So if you want to go in person, you can set those appointments for that. But if not, I definitely recommend doing that virtually so you can work on making those your college decision. You should also be doing your FAFSA and RDS if you have not already done it. Hopefully, seniors in the room, you've already done your FAFSA and RDS. RDS is required to receive in-state tuition for college, so make sure you do that or you will get the out-of-state price. And then FAFSA is required to go ahead and get those Pell Grants, work study, things like that, that financial aid for college. And then the last thing for this month is if you have not finished up all of your college applications, or if you haven't started, you're on the late end of the game, go ahead and get those college applications in on either CFNC, Common App, through the college websites, whatever portal you're using. Make sure you get those done and make sure you pay attention to the deadlines, because there are last chance deadlines for a lot of colleges. Some have already passed, which we'll see in this month. But make sure again that you're paying attention to deadlines if you have not applied yet. Okay, so these are the January college deadlines. These deadlines have actually already passed. So if you didn't apply to these schools this month, except UNCG, they have another date in March. But if you didn't apply to these schools, the deadlines are gone. Okay, so get into February overview. So very similar from January, as you can see. You need to be checking for those financial aid award packages and scholarships. And I believe we do have another presentation where we'll get a bit into detail and show you examples of those award letters, because they're going to be released all the way up till usually April, maybe May, if you haven't finished your verification early on. But typically most packages are going to be released between now all the way through to April. So continue to just check your email, check those college portals for updates from from each individual college about what the next steps are for you to get that package. Doing those college rep visits, continue those in February. FAFSA and RDS if you haven't already done it, and then again, college applications by their deadlines. These are some February college deadlines. So if you are interested in any of these colleges here, for this coming school year, make sure you apply to them by these dates. Going on into March deadlines. Okay, I think we skipped one, but that's all right. These are March deadlines. The other thing in March that is important to note is that the priority deadline for FAFSA is March the 1st. So that's pretty much the only different thing. Continue checking your emails, continue checking your college portals for those financial aid awards. But FAFSA, if you have not done it, by this point, just make sure it's done before March 1st so that you get the best aid possible for college. And then we get on into April. Honestly, it's continuing on the same thing, except this is really the month where you want to be in the final review stage for those award packages. Just because you have to have your decision by May 1st for that's National Decision Day. So you want to make sure you have gotten all your award packages by this point. If you were selected for verification, you should have turned everything in to get your packages back by April. Continue checking those emails just, for any last minute information you need to check to make your decision. You should have your college choices narrowed down to your top 2 or 3 choices by this point, if you haven't already decided, because again, you need to have your decision made by May 1st and submitted into whatever college you are going to choose to go to. You can skip number 4. That was for my students there. And then number 5, you can continue to submit college applications at this point, but honestly, these are you're pretty much on the late end if you're just not applying there, unless, it's community college or unless it's another university or college that offers rolling admission. This is pretty much on the late ends, and decisions will likely be based on what space they have available at their campus for you if you applied this late. ECU and Queen's University of Charlotte have deadlines on April the 1st. And then May. So getting into May, really not much left to go, y'all. May 1st is decision day. This is where you're saying, I'm committing to this school. You're going ahead and submitting that to them, that you are committing to them. And if they have a deposit for you to pay, that enrollment deposit, you'll make sure it's paid by this date. This is where you can focus on actually, again, enrolling into college, signing up for orientation, if, that's available in their schedule, and then signing up for any college transition workshops. This is a good start. Like, we'll have this series going on all throughout the semester, so make sure you're keeping in with us, or at least signing up. If you don't come back to ours, which hopefully you do, you're signing up for a college transition workshop somewhere. These transition workshops will really help you to adjust to that transition for college, because it is a bit different than high school, a lot different than high school, honestly. So you want to know what the expectations are of you as a college student, what your professors are going to expect, because again, it is different. So make sure you're participating in something like that. Some scholarship dollars may also be awarded at this point. It just depends on the scholarship. So make sure you're continuing to check your emails for those notifications and things like that. Okay, in June, it's not much left in June, y'all. This is where you're going to focus on those enrollment aspects, such as, picking courses, if that's open for your college, picking those books for the courses, making sure you're getting the cheapest price, making sure your health insurance and stuff like that is done for the university you're going to attend, because health insurance is required for students if you're going to a university. Any of your end of the year tasks, you want to make sure you tie up all those loose ends. And then we have graduation. Okay, so this is a class of 2022 timeline. I did see some people in the chat asking about what I just presented before. So what I just presented before was all for 12th graders. This is the timeline for 11th graders. So starting now, I don't really have too much in between now and May, just because I know with virtual learning, it can already be overwhelming. So I don't want to add more stress onto the load, especially when you can start it in the summer and have, just more time to work on it in the summer since you don't have classes. So there is a state ACT next month. So I would say definitely start studying for that, because this is not the practice SAT anymore. As 11th graders, you get the real ACT as a state on the same day. I believe it's the 23rd. And this is an actual exam that you can go ahead and send to your colleges that you want to go to for next year. So again, if you take this serious and do well on this exam, you may not even need to take it again. And this exam is free for this time. So study for that. You take the exam in February. If you don't do so hot on that February exam, you can sign up for another test date. Just contact your counselor, your college advisor at your school to help you sign up. If you qualify for fee waivers, they can also help you look into that. SAT is also offered throughout the semester. So, you can take both tests multiple times. You don't have to just take it the one time if you want to improve your score. So far, I haven't heard much about whether or not colleges are going to waive the test scores for next year. I know for this year's class, the graduating seniors for this year, their testing is waived for at least North Carolina public universities. And a bunch of other colleges have also waived it due to COVID. But 11th graders, that decision has not been called for y'all yet, so still plan to have to take this exam. So starting in June, this is where you 11th graders can really, like I said, you have more time on your hands. It's summer. Start preparing your stuff that you'll need to apply to college. That personal college essay, which many of those college applications are going to want, and scholarships may also want the same thing. You can get a prompt for your essay from commonapp.org. They have like 7 or 8 prompts you can choose from. You only have to pick one and make your essay. If you do it this soon, or you can even do it sooner, again, it's up to individual if you want to start it sooner or not. This will give you time to edit it all throughout the summer. You can also prepare your resume. Your resume should include activities, extracurricular activities, service learning. If you work a job, include that as well. Put that on your resume. I do have a template. If you want it, you can get you can email me and I can send you the template I have prepared for high schoolers. All you have to do is go in there and change your dates and change the activities to put your own stuff in there since 9th grade. You can also start in July creating your college list. Again, you can start this sooner, but you should have at least 5 to 10 colleges on this list because you will narrow this list down as you get into senior year. So start with at least 5 to 10, and then you should also create a scholarship list while you're at it. I recommend applying to at least double the amount of scholarships as you are to colleges, just because the scholarship process is usually a bit more competitive than just generally getting admitted to a college. And this is because they're dealing with money. It just comes down to being more selective for the money part. You should also take your time to visit colleges if possible. This can be virtual tours. Again, they offer those virtual tours for you, or this can be in person if they offer it. And then you should also take the time to talk to admissions representatives. A lot of the time when you talk to admissions representatives, these are the actual people who are going to be reviewing your application when it comes time to admit you in the fall. So it definitely will not hurt for you to go ahead and start building rapport. Let them know your name, let them know about you. This could honestly help you to get more information, what could help your application stand out, stuff like that. So contact your local admissions representatives or whoever serves for your region. More ACTs and SAT. Oh, I wasn't dead. ACTs and SATs are also offered throughout the summer. And then when we get to August, this is when college applications are actually going to open. Typically that open date is August 1st for Common App. So you can actually begin applying to college before you even start classes your 12th grade year. So if you do it this way, honestly, it makes it a lot easier because you don't have to balance classes, extracurricular activities, working, and applying to college, managing the college process. If you start sooner, again, it'll make your life easier because you'll already be done before you start class. And you can go on to the next thing. Okay, and these are things y'all should be doing right now. Maintain your GPA. Keep those grades up right now, 11th graders, because these are actually the last grades that those college that you will have. So when this semester is over, these are the last grades that you will have before you submit your initial applications in the fall. So your GPA will update for the last time this semester, and then it will not update again until January of your senior year. So if you, the North Carolina minimum GPA for public universities is a 2.5 GPA for you to be considered. So if right now you don't have that GPA or you're borderline, make sure you're getting those grades up this semester, because again, the grades they see from the end of the semester is what they're going to be using to determine whether or not you're admitted. You should be taking honors, AP, or dual enrollment courses if possible. You want to challenge yourself. Colleges want to see that you're able to challenge yourself. If you're not doing well in regular courses, you're barely passing, I don't recommend moving up to the next level. But if you're doing well, you're making A's, you're making B's, go ahead and challenge yourself, take it to the next level. You should also be building relationships with your teachers and other staff at your school. I know we're remote, I know it's a bit tough, but you can build relationship with them by participating in class fully, showing up to class, turning on your camera, looking presentable, emailing them, asking them questions, how you can constantly improve, what you can do to better study, to improve your test scores. Talk to them, let them know your name so that when it comes to your 12th grade year, you can ask them for a recommendation letter and they can write you a good one. Participate in extracurricular activities, work in service if possible. There are some virtual service learning activities if you don't feel comfortable going out there with COVID. So just make sure you contact whoever the coordinator is at your school for those type of volunteering experiences. And then the last thing is just to study for your ACT and SAT. Again, the whistle has not been blown to whether it's waived or not for y'all next year. So make sure you're studying at least 3 months in advance before your exam. That's what I recommend so that you actually get conditioned, you know how to take that test, you're prepared for it. The North Carolina minimum for SAT is 880 typically. This year it was changed due to COVID, but typically that's the regular minimum. And then the ACT minimum is typically a 17. So just to know where you should be aiming for. All right. And that is everything I have for y'all. I think we'll move on to the next.
All right, we're gonna take a little music break. I want you to rep your high school. So this is gonna be really important when you get to college. Repping your school is gonna be a big thing, especially if you go off and come back home. So show me some pride right now in the chat. What high school do y'all attend?
Yeah. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now. Baby, I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down. Baby, we took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby, where did you be at when they say they doing all this and all that? Tired of beefing you bums, you can't even pay me enough to react. Been waking up in the crib and sometimes I don't even know where I'm at. Please don't pay that songs in this party, I can't even listen to that.
Parents, you can tell your high school too. Y'all can participate. Parents are an important part of the whole process.
This in between us is not like a store, this isn't a closable gap. Hey, I see some attack and don't end up making it back. I know that they at the crib going crazy down bad. What they had didn't last. Whoa, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now. Baby, I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down. Baby, we took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby, where did you be at when they say they doing all this and all that? I'm in the trenches, relax. Can you not pet that little boy in the club? Cause we do not listen to rats. We in Atlanta, I bought her wig. She telling me Tay is the best. Pointed it, who act like a killer, but you only one from the net. I'm like the baby, I'm not just a rapper. You play with me, you won't get stretched. Bring Drake to the hood, surround Drake round. Even though I got a case, I'ma do what it takes. And I never been embraced, and the money's hard to make. So I bet they on their face right now. I know that they at the crib going crazy down bad. What they had didn't last. Whoa, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
All right, I see some Raiders, Bison. All right, drop your school or your mascot.
Baby,
I see some hands raised.
now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby, where did you be at when they say they doing all this and all that? When he tell the story, that's not how it went. No, they be lying 100%. Moved out of the rest and forgot about the bed. Now they just call me to tell me come get it. Got that boy off and I don't want no credit. If it was me, they wouldn't regret it. Left me for dead and now they won't get it. Yeah. Heart is still beating, my still eating. Backyard it look like the garden eating. Pillows talk with him, she spilling the tea. And Shawty came back and said she didn't mean it. It's hard to believe it. I know that they at the crib going crazy down bad. What they had didn't last. Whoa, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now. Baby, I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down.
All right, so now we're gonna move it on to our lightning round. Turn it over to someone else.
Hey everybody, my name is Krista Connolly. I'm an admissions counselor and a visit coordinator here at Greensboro College. We are going to switch up the topic for tonight. At this moment, talk a little bit about COVID-19 and how that is affecting our campuses. An important topic. We know that things can change in our environment and rather constantly and quickly. With Greensboro College being a small institution, we are able to pivot more easily to make the changes needed in the wake of COVID-19. I am proud to say that we started and ended the fall 2020 semester on time with primarily an in-person campus experience for our students. Next. So 50 to 60% of our classes were in person at Greensboro College, 27% were online, and then the remainder were a hybrid course of online and in person. We established max occupancy for academic buildings and classrooms, and all students were required to sign the Pride and Prevention contract, which highlighted safety protocols, but also those 3 W's that we all know and love. Wear, wait, and wash. You will also see similar measures in our athletic department. All of our athletic teams are currently following the NCAA and USA South regulations for games and practices. And one of the biggest things to note is the conference has prohibited spectators from attending games, whether indoors or outdoors. Okay, in terms of the residence hall, visitation hours are temporarily suspended. Students are not permitted in the building they do not live in, and residence life has reduced capacity in the halls to limit exposure. In regards to visitors, no community visitors or alumni may come to Greensboro College campus at this time, and students who attend classes via the Greensboro Consortium will meet virtually only. The next one. All of us at Greensboro College, we are committed to doing our part to keeping each other safe and healthy in order to having another successful semester at Greensboro College. So we are requiring testing as we return to the fall or return to full operation in January. Greensboro College continues to follow the Pride and Prevention guidelines, social distancing, wearing face coverings, and hand washing. COVID-19 resource page is an outlet for additional resources. It is live and you can find the link at the bottom of the Greensboro College website. Next. Now, I would be a horrible admissions counselor if I didn't at least promote a little bit of admissions. We are rolling admissions here at Greensboro College, so we don't have any deadlines. So whenever you're ready to apply, we're ready to help you out and make that decision, help make that decision with you. We are also test optional. So whenever you're ready to have that conversation with an admissions counselor, whether that is myself or one of our admissions counselor here at Greensboro College, feel free to reach out and we can go over next steps. And we are also offering virtual campus visits as well as in-person campus visits starting on Monday. And that's with safety protocols that I've gone over just now and additional ones as well. And if you have any questions, I am the visit coordinator and you can please feel free to reach out and let me know. Here's my contact information. If anyone is interested in speaking about Greensboro College, the admissions process, or any of the items I went over today, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
All right, next up, we'll have GTCC, Guilford Technical Community College.
All right, how's everybody doing? My name is Mike Mackey. I'm one of the admissions reps. I'm a recruiter for GTCC. Just to give you a little bit of a background on Guilford Tech, you know, we're, I guess, unique to this specific format because, you know, most of the institutions on here are 4-year institutions. Guilford Tech is a 2-year community college, a little bit of a different admission process all the way around. We do rolling admissions fall, spring, summer. We still have many semesters going on, and in March or halfway through the semester as well. The criteria basically for all community colleges, because we're considered an open door institution, is there's no minimum GPA or standardized tests. It's not required for us. What we do is we do look at your final high school GPA as far as placement into those gateway courses, which is college English and math. So if you have a 2.8 or higher, you go into strictly college level. If you're between a 2.2 and a 2.79, you go college level as well, but then you take what we call a transition course, which is basically, it's a 1 hour a week class just to kind of, just to sum it up, is basically an extra tutoring class, 1 hour a week for that English and math. If you're below a 2.2, you're just taking the transition courses, which is what's considered old term would be developmental courses. Several locations throughout Guilford County, Jamestown, Greensboro, High Point, Aviation Center. We also have the Cameron campus out in Oak Ridge. So depending on what program you're taking will determine what campus you're on. Kind of in line with Greensboro College and most other institutions, like we are, pretty much all of our lectures are online right now, 100% through February. After February, we'll kind of, the college administration will kind of make that judgment on to whether to bring everybody back. If you're in a science class, it has a lab, the lecture's online. The class is, the lab itself is actually in the classroom. If you're in one of those tech programs that have hands-on, like welding or automotive, any of our allied health, they're still doing clinicals, but they're obviously abiding by the protocols as well, keeping everybody at a safe distance for faculty, staff, students, everybody. For that. So we have a different variety of classes for those who want to take classes online or on campus. We still have a few of those, but most people are kind of going with the online for right this second. We are the 4th largest community college in North Carolina, sitting right at about 12,000 students, which is fairly large for a community college. But that's the other thing is we had an uptick in some of those students that wanted to stay home. We saw that was kind of a trend over this past summer. So we'll see what happens for the spring in this upcoming year. A little bit about our pathways. There's 2 different things you can do. We have college transfer classes. It's basically you taking your gen ed courses here, then you transfer out to a university. If you go to a public institution in North Carolina, everything's guaranteed to transfer. Some of the private institutions we work fairly well with, at least locally anyway. And we also have that articulation agreement with Guilford College as well. And we have our technical degrees, and we also have co-enrollment programs that are similar to transfer with UNCG and North Carolina A&T. Co-enrollment is basically you're dual enrolled at both institutions at the same time. Now, the caveat with that is you actually have to physically get into those universities if you want to do that. Long story short, if you do a co-enrollment, you're taking classes here, sprinkling a couple of other classes from those institutions, and that's your co-enrollment. And you're still at the GTCC price for the first 2 years, and then you seamlessly transition into the university from that point. So that's kind of the differences. Just so I don't go over my time, a little bit of housekeeping. All of our scholarships, deadlines, financial aid is the same as anybody else, typically March 15th for this upcoming year. And so that's still in line with everything else that's going on here. We do have virtual tours. We got the virtual tours online last week. So that is a thing now. We're limiting tours right this second to just individual, not doing really any group ones right yet. That's going to change probably next month. We just don't have an exact date on that yet. So it's coming. And even then it'll probably be, I think it's going to be to about 10 students or whoever comes on campus between parents as well. And our application deadline for seniors that are coming up is August 1st. And the same with everybody else, try to get the FAFSA in. We still process those. Make sure your RDS is correct. Correct is the key word here. So if you mess up on the RDS, it creates a whole slew of issues as far as getting those those corrected. So just make sure you take your time on the RDS and the college applications in general. All right, I'll hand it over.
All right, next up we have Guilford College, and I'll go back for just a second so that you can see, or Mike will drop his contact information in the chat so that you all can contact him with any questions that you may have about GTCC or the application process. Thank you.
All right, good evening, y'all. My name is Kyle Wooden. I'm the Director of Admission at Guilford College. Definitely put that contact information in the chat box, Mike, because I know I get some calls for Guilford Tech pretty frequently on my campus as well. So just a quick update on where we are in our current picture, especially dealing with COVID. We're about 1,200 students. That's very normal for us. We have about 700 students living on campus. Traditionally, we have about 900 students living on campus. And, I think we have a large out-of-state population, and some of those students that were in, those hotbeds in the northeastern part of the country in the fall decided to take a full online course load, which is totally understandable. Students, no matter what the year is, students that live within 30 miles of campus are always eligible to commute from home. Traditionally, our Greensboro students live on campus. Again, having the option, though, is always nice. Our fall and winter sports are scheduled to compete this spring. Fall, winter, and spring sports all are competing right now. They're underway. They're practicing. Our spring semester started mid-January. Our students have been incredibly responsible through this process. They're taking online classes through next week, and then we'll slowly start getting them back in the classrooms. At Guilford, we're actually doing random testing every 2 weeks. So I've been tested numerous times. Our students are being tested numerous times. And again, they've been incredibly responsible. And if you want to learn a little bit more about what we're doing with our coronavirus response, there's our webpage there. I promise this moving screen was not something I did on purpose. If I'm responsible for that,
I believe it's me, and I strongly apologize.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You can go to the next one. I'll talk a little bit about our application process and kind of what's maybe changed with this year. We've always been a test optional institution at Guilford. Traditionally, we ask for an additional piece of writing. So an essay that you completed in high school, or we provide an essay prompt as well. This year, we're not requiring that additional piece of writing. We're truly, flat out test optional. So really, if you haven't had the opportunity to take the ACT or SAT, or you don't feel like those tests
I think we lost Cal.
Yeah, it seems like we're experiencing some technical difficulties. So, DJ, if you don't mind stepping in for a second while we get him back. And I strongly apologize for this moving screen. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
I got you. What are some schools that y'all applied to or been accepted to? Let us know in the chat.
All right, everyone. So it looks like we lost Cal. So I strongly apologize for that. Unfortunately, we cannot control
He's
Wi-Fi
back.
connections. I know that a lot of us are working from home and navigating all of that. So hopefully we'll have Cal rejoin us. We will place Cal's
He's back,
contact
Brandy.
information. Is Cal back?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
Right on time.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you.
So my last thing, and Warshay touched on this earlier. So we have an in-house Say Yes deadline at Guilford. It's March 1st. So if you earn acceptance to Guilford, you've sent your FAFSA into Guilford, and you've completed your Say Yes scholarship form all before March 1st for us, Warshay will then send us the list of names, and you'll receive an updated financial aid award letter. So we're currently sending out financial aid award letters now. So just know if you meet our criteria, and again, that's all you need to do. Earn acceptance, file your FAFSA, fill out that Say Yes certification form or scholarship form. You'll earn additional funding from Guilford College through our partnership with Say Yes, which we're incredibly thankful for. So just know if you've received a financial aid award, there's more funding that's on the way.
All right, thank you so much, Cal. And if you don't mind sharing your contact information in the chat in case anyone has any questions directly about Guilford College, and thank you. And sorry about the technology issues. And thank you all for bearing with us. We will have another music break before we talk about some other resources that will help you as you continue to navigate these college application process, as well as juniors as you plan for college in the upcoming years.
All right, yeah, keep dropping the schools that you've been accepted to or applied to. I see App State, I see ECU. Someone got into GCC. All right, GTCC. My fault. See another App State. Y'all gotta connect. Make sure y'all gonna link up on campus. All right, I see UNCW, Western Carolina. A&T, all right. NCCU, WSSU. All right, we have some HBCU representation. Good to know. Somebody applied or got accepted at High Point University. Hey, that's where I graduated from initially. Campbell, Wingate, NC State, Georgia Tech, Wolfpack alum. Shout out to all the alumni in the building. I guess we all in our own building though, right? Technically. HPC grad, North Carolina Central. All right, got some people waiting on Chapel Hill. Best of luck with that. UNC Charlotte. I see a lot of North Carolina school represented. Amazing. UNC Pembroke, Johnson and Wells. All right. People coming. Wilmington. All right. Hey, someone got accepted to UNCG. All right. Congratulations on all of your acceptances. Y'all can't even see my face. I'm so sorry. I'm in here like jamming. Y'all can't see me. Congratulations on all of your acceptances. Those of you who are waiting, I wish you the best of luck on all of those. College is a fun experience in its own. And this waiting period, honestly, is just like so intense, but it's all right. Juniors, make sure you're doing everything they've told you to do. And yeah, let's turn it back over to Brandy.
All right, so thank you so much, DJ Ace. We appreciate you bringing in some entertainment tonight and getting our students and our families riled up. I'm now going to turn it over to Mr. Frank Adams, who will be sharing some resources with you all that you can take as you continue to apply to college and plan for college during these times of the pandemic.
All right, thank you for that. So I would say the biggest thing with the resources, you can find them on the CFNC website, cfnc.org. The ones that are specifically up right now on the slide are COVID resources and applying through COVID. So first things first, we have information on standardized testing. You can find a list of all the North Carolina colleges and universities that are test optional, and it gets updated regularly. You also can speak to different admissions representatives like y'all heard tonight, and they'll be able to tell you as well if certain tests are test optional. Also, there's links to the SAT and ACT websites. It also has their protocol, their test dates, and how they're moving forward through COVID. Also, there's a lot of information on student aid. There's a link to the FAFSA website, and it has a lot of information and talks about how they're moving forward through the pandemic. It's also talking about how they are now offering forbearance and relief on certain federal loans. So if you take a look at that, that might be of interest to some people who currently have those student loans. Um, if you go ahead and move forward, this right here are 3 different resources for the North Carolina community colleges, the UNC system schools, and some of the independent colleges and universities, so like your private schools. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the protocols that they're taking with COVID and how you can apply. Lastly, for some of the seniors who are still applying to different things, including scholarships and financial aid, you can do searches on the CFNC website, specifically to Guilford County. Also, for some of the juniors, you can start taking a look at these things because oftentimes the scholarships that they have up there and um, some of the other things that they have reoccur yearly. So that might be something you want to pay attention to. Also, there are links if you do need to apply to college, do your RDS, and get to the FAFSA website. I also want to throw that out there. What does it say? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I am not seeing anything. It froze on me.
Okay, it's okay. I'll jump in here. So it looks like all of our Wi-Fi's are a little tired from all of this working from home. But so here on our screen, this is more so for our juniors. This is the Big Future College Board website. And so this is an opportunity that you can use just like the CFNC site has where you can search for things specific to Guilford College. This is an opportunity to sort of find the right college for you. So you can search by institution size, you can search by major, you can search by, let's say you want to go to a historically Black college or university, or you want to search by a certain GPA or requirement. So this really allows you to begin building that college list. It may be a institution that is local or maybe not even local, that may be partnered with, say, as Guilford. So it's important that you just use these tools in order to help you narrow your search. There are a lot of colleges and universities all over the country, but this will just sort of help you find what you're looking for is for in a school, which is very important as you continue to plan for college and make your college decision. And seniors, don't feel like you can't use this tool either. This is very good for you to see the admission requirements and everything in one place. And it will also allow you to compare and contrast the schools side by side. So please use the resources that are available to you. Next, we want you to be on the radar. We have some, just like this event, this was a kickoff. So just like last semester, if you've been tuning into some of our events, we'll continue to have webinars or informational workshops that'll help you as you continue to plan and apply to college. So in a few coming weeks, we'll have our virtual FAFSA pop-up shop with some of our local institutions, financial aid representatives that will help you come in and learn more about the FAFSA application process and answer any questions you may have. And then we have some upcoming webinars that will help you not only navigate the process after you've been accepted to college, but also for those of you who may have gotten a little overwhelmed last semester with everything and COVID, and just understanding that it's not too late. It's not too late to apply, but to also do your FAFSA. So make sure that you're following us on social media and staying connected with all of our organizations to not miss out on those opportunities. So here across the slide, you'll begin to see some contact information for our partners. We again, thank you, Guilford County Schools, Guilford Parent Academy. We have Say Yes Guilford, the College Foundation of North Carolina, and the Carolina College Advising Corps here. And that is the end of our presentation tonight. So there are a few minutes, barely, for you to drop some questions in the chat. I know that you all probably have throughout the presentation. But again, we thank all of our partners tonight. And thank you all for bearing with us with our technical difficulties. But we hope that you receive the information that you're looking for as you plan for college, and also hearing about our local partners. Thank you all for joining and what they're doing on campus in response to COVID.
And just to follow up after Brandy, this is Clint Wilson. This is Clint Wilson again. With GCS, please utilize your high school counselors as a frame of reference as well when concerning scholarships or any of these questions that you may have. They will be receiving this presentation as well as this recording, and I believe it will also be within the archives for Say Yes and their video series and on their website as well. And it'll also be on our GCS high school counseling website, so that if you missed anything tonight or you have any additional questions, you can reference that. But again, utilize your high school counselors to the fullest extent as you are navigating through this process, and your college advisors if you have a college advisor at your school. If you're so fortunate to have a college advisor at your school, please utilize them as well, because they are a wealth of knowledge. And then also students, they were just recent students in undergrad not too long ago. So they will be able to answer your questions about some of the things you might have concerns about that necessarily people of my age demographic does not have concerns about at this time, but they probably will be able to better understand what you're going through as you're trying to navigate through this process, because they just went through the process maybe 4, 5, or 6 years ago. So please utilize everyone at your that's at your disposal. They are there and they are here to work for you.
All righty. With that being said, please feel free to reach out to us using the contact information that was on the screen. This session was recorded and will be available for playback on our YouTube station, and that's the Say Yes Guilford YouTube. If you just go to youtube.com and search Say Yes Guilford, you'll find our playlist. So thank you all again for tuning in, and thank you to all our community partners. And we hope that you join us for our event. We have a Say Yes Guilford ACT prep coming up on February 3rd. So we hope that you register and visit us on social media. And thank you all for joining again. Team, feel free to stay on.